Welcome to the WaltZerFootball.com podcast. This is episode 306. We're doing our Week 13 NFL picks against the spread. Plus, we're going to talk about the Ravens-Steelers game as well, which is going to happen on Wednesday. Joined once again by Jacob Kamaker from the Sporting News. Jacob, how are you, and how's your Week 12?
I'm doing great today. My Week 12 was very weird. I did very well. The picks I announced on Twitter, I think I went 5-3 on them, which is pretty good. And then in the Super Contest, we went 5-0 in our joint entry, which was great. But somehow I have a 7-8 record. I just had some horrible luck between the Seahawks losing their cover late to the Eagles on a Hail Mary and meaningless 2-point conversion. I had the Chiefs, and they missed by half a point for their potential cover. So props to you on getting that one right. And then I just did not change my pick in Colts Titans, despite the fact that the Colts were without 3 very key players. And I should have done it, but I was just nah, I'm not going to change this. And that was just me being lazy and stupid. So, I blame myself for one of them, but I got some pretty bad luck last week. So I went 7-8, pending the Baltimore result. Hopefully we'll get a win in that game so I can get back to 500. But yeah, hopefully this upcoming week I'll have a little bit of better luck in those really close games.
Yeah, that Seahawks-Eagles game was pretty rough for anyone who got the late number. The Seahawks are 4.5 in the Super Contest. I got them for -5.5 on, I think it was Saturday. I saw it was heading up to 6, so I was you should probably lock this in. It was a great week. I went 10-5 overall. I hit every single bet I made on Sunday and Monday. And the only loss I had during the week was Thanksgiving with the Cowboys. And I still think if Zach Martin didn't get hurt, I think the Cowboys may have won the game. So whatever. I'll take it. After just a week 11 with brutal luck, week 12, we got some luck definitely with the Seahawks not winning, or the Seahawks winning by 6 instead of 5 to get that number, and also the Buccaneers their comeback at the end to get the backdoor cover. Although if you're going to ask any quarterback in the NFL to get a backdoor cover, I think Tom Brady is at the top, right? So I guess that's fine, whatever. Right? So we just move on to Week 13. So there are 15 games this week, but like I said, we're going to talk about the Ravens and Steelers first. So the Ravens at the Steelers. Steelers open up -10. They're still -10. This game, for some reason, is at 3:40 in the afternoon on Wednesday. I don't understand why they couldn't put this in prime time. Maybe you know something about that, but I don't know. Who do you like this game?
So the actual reason why that game is at 3:40 is because NBC has the rights to broadcast that game. And they have the tree lighting ceremony and Rockefeller dancers, or no, Rockette dancers, not Rockefeller. The Rockettes, they perform that night. So they've had that scheduled. So they didn't want to move it. So they put it in the afternoon, which I am cool with that. I don't mind. It'll give me an excuse to go to bed earlier on Wednesday night. But I mean, it's going to be tough for some people. But anyway, yeah, on to this game. I mean, there's a lot still out there that we don't know about who's going to play for the Ravens. Obviously, we know Lamar Jackson won't play, so that's pretty big impact. I know he's been struggling this year, but you got to imagine if Lamar Jackson's struggling behind that offensive line, Robert Griffin III is not exactly going to have it easy either. And without Mark Andrews, their top pass catching weapon there, it's going to be tough. We don't know if J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram are going to play. They're going to be eligible, but there's still no confirmation about whether or not they'll play. So that's just on the offensive side of the ball. Defensive side of the ball, they got good news that Brandon Williams is coming off the COVID list, so he might be able to help stop the run a little bit, but they still might be without Calais Campbell and a bunch of other people. So just with all the people the Ravens are down, I think the Steelers are probably the safe bet to cover in this one. I think that they're going to be really mad about how many times this game was moved too, because this is the second time they've really gotten screwed by a COVID postponement / cancellation. And they lost their bye week against the Titans the first time. And this time Mike Tomlin was like, all right, after Thanksgiving, I'm going to give you guys basically the equivalent of a bye week. And then they lost that because this game was moved. So they're not going to be happy. They're going to see an opportunity to clinch the AFC North by winning this game. Basically, the Browns would still be in the running, but the Ravens wouldn't be able to win it. So I like the Steelers in this one. I'm not going to bet a ton on it because these divisional games can get close, and the Ravens are probably going to be desperate for a win. I just don't know if they have the personnel to keep it that close. So I'll be on the Steelers for one unit in this one.
Yeah. They got 2 games moved. Also, they got a third game moved because the Redskins game got moved to Monday as well. So it's kind of weird how many times their games have been moved this year. And it's kind of bad luck because if this game were to take place on Tuesday, it sounds like Brandon Williams wouldn't be able to play, but because it's like less than 24 hours later, Brandon Williams can play. Like, it doesn't really make much sense to me. But yeah, Williams being on the field is a big difference maker because without him and Calais Campbell, they couldn't really stop the run at all. And I thought that without Williams and Campbell, James Conner or James Conner may not play. So it'll be Benny Snell and Anthony McFarland. They would just go nuts against the Ravens defense. So now the Ravens will be able to stop the run. So the Steelers won't be able to score as much, but I still think they'll cover because Robert Griffin, I just don't think he can get it done, especially with that offensive line. If they had the offensive line from last year, you could say, okay, the Ravens are a good team. They have a backup quarterback starting, which is usually a recipe for for a team to cover. But with their offensive line playing so poorly, I just don't know if they can hold up against the Steelers. So I'm going to be on the Steelers, but without Williams, with Williams playing, I just don't really see a reason to bet this game. So just going to take my winnings from week 12 and move on to week 13, just picking Steelers to cover.
Yeah, I think that's fair. The thing that has gone through my head multiple times is like, because this game is moved, I feel like anyone that was on like the COVID list that wasn't able to play like Tuesday but is able to play Wednesday, I feel like they shouldn't be allowed to play. Like, that's just my opinion, because like really the Steelers are doing the Ravens a favor by this game moving. I mean, then you get into a slippery slope with all this, but like the Steelers, it's pretty unfair to them how the Ravens are just getting some reinforcements in this one just because the game got moved by like one day.
Yeah, I don't know. And thanks for pointing out why this game's at 3:40 instead of 8 o'clock. So with that in mind, I'm hoping that this is the slowest game of all time, and it goes to overtime, and there's like a lightning stoppage, and this goes into that ice skating thing they're doing on NBC, and everything's ruined for NBC. So just being a little spiteful there. All right. Anyway, let's go to Sunday. But before we get into the games, please hit subscribe on YouTube. We actually hit our 2,000 subscriber mark over the weekend, which is really cool. It's cool. It's a cool milestone for a new channel. So I was really proud of that. It'd be great to hit 2,500 by the end of the season, that'd be awesome. Or hit the like button, comment, whatever. Share this video. It would be great if you guys could do that.